And that's the story of how I saved Christmas.
Oh, David, you shouldn't have.
I know.
Damn.
Hi,
Really, you
everybody.
shouldn't have, man.
Also,
Oh,
Hi.
hey, didn't see you there.
When did you all come? Who didn't see you standing there? Thank you for the followery, hello. Thank you for the follow, Hillary.
Thank you for the Hillo Faller.
And thanks for being here, everybody. This is
Hi.
yeah. Everyone say hello. I'm just talking like a jackass.
Look at your kiss.
But yeah, so
Legendary.
tonight's gonna be a little different. We're gonna try to plow through. Oh man, there's so many amazing folks in chat. Hello, everyone. We're gonna try to plow through these 59 episodes and we're gonna try, fingers crossed, buckle your butts, because we're gonna try to keep it to 1 hour.
Good luck.
It will not happen.
It
It will not happen.
I'm gonna put my Google Doc on notate
And then up the speed by like 10.
up the speed.
Well, Nick,
and then I'm gonna try to match it. I'm gonna try to read it and try to beat it.
this is something that happens in the first couple episodes. Actually, I don't actually do the Earl voice. There's someone named Derek Tangerine who does the voice of Earl.
Man,
I wish I could. I wish I could. We pay him a lot of money to do that voice. But no. So just to sort of
$4.
$4. We pay him the food that I feed myself. No, so yeah, real quick, just to sort of set the stage here. Like I said, we're going to be recapping the first 59 episodes of our podcast, which is like, I was thinking about this today. It's weird. The last 2 years of our lives, we're going to try to recap in 1 hour. Because, as a lot of you know, we've had a few changes in the cast, and there's a lot of people who would think this might be a good point for people to jump in to the story. There's been a lot of cool stuff happening, and one of the biggest comments we get is people are like, oh, where should we start listening to the story? And now we will have an actual answer that doesn't just sound like asshole-ish and is just like, well, at the beginning. So,
which is also a good answer because it's all quality content. It's amazing stuff. But like, we're very proud of the story that we've created. But we also wanted to create an opportunity for new people that might be intimidated by that much content, staring them in the face before they, get to the current stuff. But then also, for people that want to just jump in, also where our friend Knox becomes a part of the crew.
Absolutely.
Hello.
So yeah, we're gonna just tear that away, and then we might play some videos, James, afterwards, depending on how long this goes. And yeah, so like, feel free to, if you guys want to, like, in chat, like, comment your favorite moment, or if something we say strikes a memory chord or a funny bone or whatever, feel free to message that in chat. We'll try to keep track of that. I think we fixed the hydrate bot, so I think
they won't constantly be telling you to hydrate.
So yeah, with that, well, wow, that was weird. I just got some weird deja vu. I was about to say, are you guys ready to start?
Right. You could have just done that.
So are you guys ready to recap the veils of reality?
Hey, there we go. We got there.
And jump in here. Okay, sorry, we're already gonna get off on tangents. I thought we had been saying that since like day one. Nope. That doesn't come in till way later in the story. But anyway, here we go. For the story of the quest for Atlantis with these three chuckle fucks.
Hey, listen, I wasn't here. It was those two chuckle fucks.
These two chuckle fucks.
I just got here.
It started in the city of Baldur's Gate, where they'd all arrived on a ship called the Grey Dawn, and they took part in a boat race when there was a goblin boy who was all like, hey, I need some people to win this boat race. They did it. They got very violent the very first moment of this, and they tied a rope around this like he was very arrogant, this like very arrogant, like, noble person's neck, and just dragged him through the water. Blah blah.
Wasn't
blah,
his
blah.
name Chet?
His name was Chet, and his father's name was Brett, and that is where we started. That is where we started the whole naming and nomenclature.
Just so you know, for people that might be confused as to why they can't remember hearing that was session 0 also. So that has not appeared, and it will never appear.
It will never
to
appear.
human ears.
We recorded that.
I would like to hear it though.
Oh yes, you can.
We
You can
we
hear the
have it.
forbidden
We
tapes.
we recorded it all in one microphone, and I think the microphone was sitting on a pizza box, and like Christian was like sitting
no.
across
Yeah.
the room. Like it was, we were
But,
deep
like it's
into
just
it.
not listenable.
Yeah, it is really rough. I was also like super sick, so like my voice was just all over the place, but
Oh my
right.
god.
it was very fun. So that was the little session 0 that got them to level 3, because when the story officially started, they were being taken to jail in Baldur's Gate by Brett for the crimes committed against Chet, and that's what got them to level 3. So our story officially.
Can you give us just some of the Brett voice that you did?
Oh my gosh, it was
It was
It
a
was
good
your
voice.
it was your like
for this. For crimes
Yeah.
against my son, you can't leave this city alive. I think that's actually like very close to the first lines of the first episode.
yeah.
So it started. Well, they were being literally carted away to jail by this asshole nobleman named Brett.
Asshole.
They got thrown into jail. They were trying to decide what to do, and then this is something that also surprised me in my re-listen. Captain Falcon appears at about minute 5 of this
Yeah.
entire story. I did not realize that. So yeah, they got thrown into jail in a very cinematic way. They started talking to a pirate who was in the cell next to them, and he was all like, "Yar, y'all are in the cell I
Hey,
was
you."
trying to be in too." And Captain Falcon basically was like, "My plan went a little bit awry, and I need you guys to. There's a secret door in that cell. It'll lead you to something. Go check it out." So you guys, you solved the very first puzzle we ever did, which was very easy.
North, south,
North,
east,
south, east, and west, which I think was another puzzle I did later on. But anyway, you pressed the buttons. You went down you opened up a chamber into the underground, the sunken city of Baldur's Gate. And I'm going to skip over a few things here because there was a lot of kerfuffling around, not figuring out there was a giant hole in the wall.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
That's right. And that one, I forgot about my lucky feat until maybe a year into us playing.
yeah.
I know the exact scene you remember it in because you say yeah.
So this actually the end of episode 1, because they walked down into this chamber and they round a corner in these like caverns, and they find this like vista of this like sunken city with these lights and movement and stuff going on. That was episode 1. We did it. Good job, guys. Episode 1 done.
Hey.
Episode 2.
All right. 3 minutes.
Also, just a little little backstory here, folks. I had notes on every single episode until a couple hours ago when I lost them. So now the notes I have are the Spotify titles. All right,
He's
episode.
written all his notes on like 3x5 cards and left
Apparently.
the window open,
I don't
and then
know
a
where they
breeze
went.
went by, and they just.
So episode 2, it's a great big scary world out there. Part 2 was where you guys adventured down in the sunken city. There was the whole plate debacle where you were trying to sneak around, and then all of it. That's where you guys realized that the jokes you make become canon. The jokes that I make do not become canon, because Kippa tripped on a bunch of plates and alerted a bunch of troglodytes. You guys actually had a pretty dang cool fight, like for being
was a
level
cool
3
fight.
characters. Yeah, you all got some very.
He also had bottles up his butt, which
Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
about.
so a lot of people in chat are talking about the bottles.
yeah, I just saw that and I was just like, yeah,
There's a time in my life.
I
guys,
forgot about
alright?
that.
his burger meat butt.
The first mini I
No!
made for you, Kippa, the weapon it had was just a broken bottle in its hand from Hero Farm.
That's right.
The Fate has a
literally-
broken
Faint's
bottle.
handle is a broken bottle. Yeah,
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I forgot
Um,
about that. Here it
yeah.
is, though.
yeah, that's the
He
first.
got me this Keppa figurine like a long, long time ago.
That's also
And I was
where
like, how the hell did you get a broken?
that was. That's also, we're skipping forward ahead. That's where Werner Herzog came from, because that's your statue for the.
That's right.
Unseen
Yeah.
Servant.
it was-
Anyway, back to episode 2. Holy shit, we gotta go. You fought a bunch of
As I said,
troglodytes.
it's probably gonna be like a 3 hour.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
We can do it. We can do it.
You guys fought a bunch of troglodytes, and then you kept exploring the sunken city, and you found that as you got deeper into it, there was this pulsing blue light that you all were kind of being attracted to, like moths to the flame. And we ended that episode right when you went into this keep inside the sunken city where it was soon found out that there was a bald female dwarven figure who was sitting in the middle of a courtyard, looking through the world, looking at the world through a telescope. But this telescope had it was not a normal telescope because it had the lens of it was covered by a giant crystal prism. That was where we ended episode 2.
Also, side note, there was a chest, and we both got rings that we forgot about.
Just
I also know the exact scene where we
par
were
for the course. I forgot those rings too. Yeah, you guys both got rings that are going to come into play in about 45 episodes.
Literally in 30. Yeah, I know.
And that was where we ended episode 2. You guys walked into this keep. You saw. Actually, I wish I had that art. Tolemac
The one your dad.
Tolemac
Yeah,
drew some amazing art.
On our website.
Yeah. Anyway,
definitely on our Instagram too.
Episode 3. 1/5 of the way through my episodes, guys. Here we go.
We got it. We're doing it.
So, episode 3, Grasping at Straws, part 1. Dang, we were really into part 1s and part 2s when we started out. Episode.
We actually finished them in those parts, though. Now
We
we're
did.
like part 63.
That's true. But well, technically this would be like a 6-parter.
Right.
But anyway,
Yeah.
okay. So episode 3, Grasping at Straws, part 1. You all started talking to this Duragar female, and she was speaking all sorts of wild words to you guys, not making any sense. Talking about don't break the prism, the threads that connect people. Very very foreshadowy, very silly, very very good.
That
stuff.
was Neth.
And we should end the stream real quick. No. And then pretty quickly, you guys all jumped in, and there was some hijinxery where Kippa tried to convince her he was a bunch of giants because she was blind, and he tried to steal the telescope from her. And as that happened, as he took the telescope, a bunch of wisps and quasgoths. They look like giant light gorillas with cat faces.
Carl,
the light gorilla, and Wilton.
that was what I'm laughing just thinking about that. It's like, hey, what's his name? You're like, fucking Carl.
No, it was very enjoyable to re-listen to all these episodes. But as Kippa took the telescope, it incited a bunch of monsters to appear out of nowhere. But very wisely, you took the telescope away from her, which controlled all these monsters, and they just started destroying Grasp. They just really laid into her.
Beating her.
And then as you guys were leaving that, you started leaving the sunken city, started going back past the troglodytes you killed, making your way back up to the jail cell where Captain Falcon was waiting. You all decided to look through the telescope. And see, I also feel like when we recorded this, I felt like we were like deep into the story. But this was like the second time we ever recorded that we did the visions.
Wow.
So
a lot of foreshadowing very early on.
So they all saw, as I think Kippa, you put your eye up to the glass first.
I did it like mid combat as I was running.
Yeah, and
I was like, I want to see what she's saying. And
you saw a bunch of like
I want to have what she's having.
multicolored streams of energy connecting everything basically. And then you saw a bunch of wild shit. You saw that the world was round. The world was a globe.
That's right.
You saw a tabaxi with different colored eyes leading like a magical zoo, basically.
Yeah.
You saw a bunch of things of families, like in nice like parks and fields and stuff, and then all of a sudden the same images were like death and decay had like struck. Then you saw people like destroying the world and like bringing it back together, and just like a whole bunch of wild shit like that. Arius, you saw the same energy. Then you saw a female halfling with multicolored armor riding like, I didn't say it at this point, but basically a rocket.
Like a
spaceship rocket.
Okay.
Word. And both those creatures were like reaching out their hands to you and like trying to get your help or whatever. Then you also saw 2 katanas over a battlefield of skeletons. You saw yourself leading a group of skeletons but not just like oh, there's like 10 guys, like a massive like battalion. You saw
like 100 guys.
You saw white gems. You saw. There's more stuff that I forget off the top of my head, but we can revisit that later. And that was actually where we ended that episode. That was a really short episode. Episode 3, Grasping at Straws Part 1, over. Episode 4, Grasping at Straws Part 2. You guys make it back to the jail cell.
Boom.
And you start talking to Captain Falcon. Oh, no. Sorry, one more thing you remember you saw on the telescope, Andy, is you saw a symbol, which I'm going to transition us over to right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Here we go.
The symbol.
The symbol of truth.
Ooh, we're doing cool Twitch things.
You saw.
We're doing cool Twitch things.
You saw. Where is it?
You saw nothing.
400. Here we go. You saw this symbol right here. And at later points in an episode, I described this symbol as like a bunch of pizzas touching.
Yeah, it's a hard one to describe.
It's a very hard one to describe. But you saw this symbol on the telescope. And that really concerned you because I think it came out later, but that was also the symbol that was on your son's dead body.
A Ninja Turtle holding 2 dumbbells.
Yeah, no, that's it. Matt. Oh, what's up, Mattress? How you doing?
Oh, crap. He ain't wrong.
He's not wrong. So that's gonna be the way we describe it from this point on.
Big pizza with 6 personal pants.
Yeah. See, honestly,
way better than
if
the
you guys,
descriptions
this
we
is
gave
so
in the
much better.
episode.
Like, I'm gonna start using these from now on because it's come up several times, and I'm like, I don't know how to describe this. Just go look at our website.
Yeah.
Lots of circles.
Anyway, that was the end of episode 3. Episode 2,
That's so
episode
funny.
4. I'm going.
Oh, no.
We're
Going backwards.
Sorry, episode 4. You guys go back to the jail cell. You meet back up with Captain Falcon, and Arius asks Falcon about that symbol. And at that point, Falcon was like, "Oh, you guys have heard about Atlantis." And then that kind of sparked a whole conversation. And he was like, "Well, hey, you guys help me out. I know someone who knows a lot about Atlantis. His name is Icarus. He lives in Neverwinter. If you come with me, I will take you to see Icarus." And then that incited a jail fight. Because there was one other thing that happened. Sorry, Kippa, you started telling for the first time. You told your first story.
Oh, yeah.
So to give some distraction for the jail fight, Kippa pulled over a bunch of guards and started telling the story of Benjamin the Bold, the halfling king of old.
Oh yeah.
And it was very, very good. That was where we met the guards who just awful.
Stan Lee and Marvel.
Stanley and Marvel are 3 of the best NPCs I've ever met in my life. But their commander, who I forget his name, they were just bad people. They would do. I don't want to say it live, but they go listen to. I almost cut that joke out because it was real bad. Anyway, started a jail fight. Captain Falcon got everyone out of the prison cells, and you guys started booking it. You went and found your items. There was a very fat guard eating a sandwich that you guys all fought over once you found your things. Kippa got very invested in the guards, Stanley and Marvel, and tried to take them with him. Because then after you guys got all your gear back from like the barracks, you went to the top of the jail and you were on the ramparts. And this is one of the funniest jokes is coming up, in my opinion. I think it was so funny. But as you're on top of the jail cell, Falcon was like, there's my ship. And you look out and you see this just behemoth of a ship, the sea monster. And at that point, Ares is like, well, all right. And then he's like, and I jump off the roof. And for some reason, that one just tickled me very deeply. Anyway, you guys find your way down. You make your way to the sea monster. Captain Falcon asks you about 15 times if you wanted to do this quest. Every time you said yes. You finally got to the sea monster. You get up on board, and then you see some people who look like this. Not this symbol, but you see this creature.
Not this one.
You see this creature right here.
You see what isn't
Oh man!
You saw these 2 folks.
Patrick.
You saw
Jake and Elizabeth.
This creature right here.
Oh man.
I'm trying to see if there's any other.
Oh man, Earl,
and then
hell yeah.
this is what this is the art we have of Captain Falcon right now. Where'd he go?
Oh yeah.
I need to draw him again.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Where
Where did he go?
Oh, there we go. Nope, that's Jake and Elizabeth. Oh gosh, we're so terrible at streaming. Here we go.
Our voice is just coming to you.
You saw all sorts of these amazing pirate folks.
Hell yeah.
And this little boy
Jelkin.
was the one who welcomed you. This guy right here, the one with the red hair, he said, "Hi, my name's Jake Kneebiter Haynes, the Jewel of Volcano Bay. Welcome aboard the Sea Monster."
I forgot that was his full title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake Kneebiter Haynes, the Jewel of Volcano Bay. And then you guys started sailing on the Sea Monster. I'm going to combine the next couple episodes here just to sort of save some time. So yeah, at that point, you guys, there was a couple days sailing to Neverwinter. You were on board. You met Patrick, that little creature that we saw. Oh, you met one other person who's very, very important. Let me transition this back here.
I think I know who.
You met one of my very favorite, not expecting to be very favorites, but you met this creature right here. You met the Artificer Slaw,
Hey.
Oh yes.
who's a kind flayer, not a mind flayer. He's a kind flayer.
And we don't talk about what he eats on the sea.
We don't talk about what he eats.
If it isn't mines, it must be kindness.
He eats kindness all the time. So then transitioning back.
What do kids do?
So
I don't want to know.
mattress.
I don't want to know.
So then you met all the different people on the Sea Monster. I think Slaw started artificing things for you guys right away. You started talking to Falcon about like, oh wait, we're you guys are pirates. Are we gonna like kill people? Like, what's going on here? And Falcon's all like, yeah, probably. And then you all had a very pointless fight where a bunch of
bolts.
Yeah, a bunch of
boys.
A bunch of lightning elementals came down to the Sea Monster one night. I just wanted to have you guys have like a cool fight, but it had nothing to do with the story. And I said one thing that is
It was
probably
like a filler episode.
Yeah, and then like there's probably gonna be like one thing that's gonna haunt me for the rest of eternity. At one point, Bolt is like, "Falcon, Poseidon is here to collect," and Falcon's like, "Not over my dead body." That was made up on the spot.
Oh my god.
Well,
And
now
it
you
is-
got to do something with it.
No,
Dude,
I
I gotta
will.
say, the fact that
That's
like,
Chekhov's gun now.
Yeah.
it's like I've been theorizing for a long time.
Well, I will say
that could be
general statement. There's been a lot of times where we've made stuff up on the spot that you guys have latched onto that I've been like, okay, this is now like a super serious thing. That has become something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
that fight when it first started, that was
yeah.
pointless. Anyway, you guys had a fight. It was great. Then you guys arrived in Neverwinter. And a couple of the most popular, most famous NPCs of our story were made by the one and only Christian Derek Spinella. Because as we arrived in, we forgot Willem was on the Sea Monster too, but we always forget about Willem.
Yeah, it's kind of par for the course when it comes to Willem.
Anyway, we get off the
Oh
docks.
god, that poor kid.
We get off the ship at Neverwinter. You're on the docks, and you haven't done this in a while, but this was something you used to do all the time. Like whenever I was describing any sort of like crowd or anything, you'd be like, "Hey, you over there with the 16-foot tall person with the tentacles over here," like, and I'd be like, "God damn it!" So you incited Scuba Steve, and do you remember what you said to incite him into this world?
She's like, "Hey, you over there with the one eye."
Yep, that was exactly it. And that Scuba Steve has now become a beloved little character that we have, who apparently can hold his breath for forever.
He wears cement shoes.
He wears cement shoes. That was another one of the funniest little bits we had. Anyway, we are so close to being with my section here, folks. We're plowing through this.
As if we could do this in an hour.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Oh my gosh, it's been 40 minutes. Okay.
No.
We're not gonna do it.
So, as we're just plowing right along, you guys, I think I'm still going to mention this part. At this point, you all came across the Lord's Alliance, and that's going to be important for some other stuff that happens later. But I also think I might keep that part of the story in moving forward. We'll see. Anyway, they ran into someone named William Corbier, who had a lot to do with someone's backstory, and basically he warned the boys here who had not named themselves yet. He warned the boys here that the Lord's Alliance was looking for them. They continued on. Arius and Kippa went on the Arius and Kippa Neverwinter spring break extravaganza, where they got a bunch of, I'm pretty sure, assless chaps were said. Mango flavored sex on the beaches were mentioned.
Oh yeah.
And
some foam fingers.
And the Neverwinter wombats.
Wombats.
Yeah, there was the I think one was a shirt, was like, I went to Neverwinter and all I got was a stupid t-shirt.
Yeah. we had all that. Oh, that's true. That is true. Bumbling Rose. We did not start right at 6, so we're doing okay. Y'all went through the rest of Neverwinter. You saw an embassy from the Drow who were there. Y'all didn't interact with them, but you saw them. And then you went and you found a tower with a red roof in the market district of Neverwinter. And as you opened the door, you saw a very tall, very slender elven man named Icarus, who was wearing red robes, and he had glass daggers. I don't know why I described him so much when we first met him, but anyway,
you
met him.
Very intent on the glass daggers.
I thought they were very cool. And that was where we ended that part of it. And then we're now in episode 9, because I'll make a special note of that, because this, I think, is the best name I've ever come up with for an episode. This one is called episode 9, Icarus. Be careful. You're flying too close to the exposition sun. Because this was basically the call to action episode where they met Icarus. They went into his shop. They went into a shop which was called the Labyrinth, which I thought was very cool. They met his assistant. Her name was Minnow. She was a fawn. Kippa slightly recognized her type of. You didn't recognize her, but you recognized her race.
Didn't she? Oh, whatever. It's your
she did that. Whatever you're about to say later.
Oh, okay.
And then Icarus basically explained that the legends of the lost city of Atlantis are real. He thinks he came from them. He thinks he came from Atlantis, and it had been stolen from this world by a creature, by a being, by a very powerful deity, basically named Neth. And he requested your help to find it. He had a journal that had a clue that started the quest, and that was basically it. There was a lot of hesitation at the beginning, very understandably, because as I was re-listening to it, I was being so unconfident and so there was a lot going on. I'm surprised you guys actually chose to go on the quest, but anyway, you guys eventually said yes, and Icarus took you down into his secret lair. Which
did we create hot pockets while we were
did create
down?
hot pockets? Yeah, we're skipping over a lot of bangers. So basically, chat, if you want, this is just a story recap. But if you do ever want to re-listen to these episodes, there are a hell of a lot of just ridiculous jokes that we had throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys went down. After that, you went down into Icarus's secret chambers via an elevator, which is very important because I'm pretty sure someone was like, "You can't have elevators in this world." And I'm like, "Fuck you guys, we can have an elevator if we want." And then let's see here. Yeah, at that point, Icarus explained a little bit more about Atlantis, a little more about Neth, and then he read you the entry from the journal, which was. Probably should have pulled that up. Basically, long story short, it was find the Sword of the Seven Seas, use it to help find the 7 generals of the 7 of Neth. Remove the heads of the 7 generals and take them to a place where the moon neither waxes nor wane. There you will find a door to Atlantis, a door to something else. I phrased that a little better in my actual notes, but that was basically it. And
that's good for memory, though.
thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, isn't that exactly what it was?
There was parts of it that were pretty close.
The exact same word.
Exactly the same.
It sounded like to me.
Then at that point, something rather important happened. You guys are like, we don't know where to find the Sword of the Seven Seas, and Falcon's like, I do. And he said he knew how to find it, and he would lead you guys to it. And then you guys left Icarus's shop, and on the way out, Kippa lagged behind and wanted to talk to Minnow, Icarus's assistant, because he recognized her from the Feywilds, basically. And as I forget exactly what you said, but it was something along the lines of, don't.
I was like, did she send you?
Yeah, that's right.
This and that. I was trying to figure out like why this bay creature was also appearing in the same place as me.
And
it's not very common.
She basically was like, no, I don't know who you're talking about. Whoever I serve is much, much, much more powerful than whoever the hell you're talking about. And then the big reveal at that moment is she called you by your full actual name.
Yeah, my first name, Irulan.
Irulan. That shook you for a while. And then at the same time, Arius was having a bit of a mind fuckery moment where...
That's right. There's something stuck in his head.
Something spoke in her head, and it said, I know you're not as honorable as you say you are. I know what you've done, and I know what you're running from. I think that was exactly it.
Yeah, I think it was actually. Yeah, I accidentally stole a couple zoo keys from the Brevard Zoo.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the ones you use to like access more information on like the animal exhibits. Yeah.
Oh wow, what a cut.
It's an actual story.
I remember that. But then something happened. So then you started leaving Neverwinter. But as you were leaving, something very, very, very important happened. Arius, I didn't describe this in my recap. Arius is a hobgoblin, which is a monstrous race in the world of D&D, and they are pretty much hated by everybody. And as Arius was walking out, they kind of came across a zealot who was very racist and was trying to incite a crowd against Arius. And Kippa, yeah. Yep, I would agree with that, Bumbling Rose. This is probably the highlight, because Kippa. Go for it. What did you do, Christian? What did you do to the zealot who was racistly calling things against your friend?
I shattered him.
Mm-hmm. That was the first time you used shatter, and you literally blew this guy up in one move, and then it incited a little bit of a riot, and people started running, and you guys were leaving, and there was another NPC that we met. It was the welcome committee to Neverwinter.
Oh my God! Yes, the orange. Would you care for some? Would you like
some orange slices? Welcome to Neverwinter.
That guy tickled me.
I loved him.
Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say something,
no,
but like, didn't we find out that he died and he was in Lunia?
He was up in Lunia. He was the guy up in Lunia. Yeah.
That's right.
That was
also
dead
Tansen.
He was dead Tansen. Yeah. That was where we officially got a name for him. But then also at that point,
most glorious warrior.
You guys were gone for like a day and a half in Neverwinter, and as you guys were leaving, Scuba Steve resurfaced. And was like, "Oh!"
and then he got a good breath and went back down.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Then you guys left Neverwinter.
This is new content, people.
Yeah.
It's happening live.
What's up, Discount Dungeons? How you doing? I know you've been in chat. Sorry, there's a lot of folks, and I'm trying to stay focused. And you guys left Neverwinter, and it was going to be about a 5-day journey to okay, sorry. Something very important happened here. As you guys were on the boat, Falcon looked through the telescope, and it seemed like he didn't get visions or didn't get any sort of wild, mind-shattering vision. He was just like, "Oh, cool, I know where to go." And then he led you guys to about 5 days out. He led you to a place where you guys eventually arrived, and it took you a while to find the boat, or it took you a while to find the island, because it was floating. It wasn't just an island, like a regular island, like a boring island, like a nut, like from a close podcast would do. No, this is from a Far podcast. We make things very difficult and very silly all the time. And
It wasn't a mainstream island.
no.
It wasn't a normie island.
Yeah, and
Cis Island.
I don't think anything happened important with Slaw. You did meet Elizabeth, who you found out on this journey that like her control area of the boat, which I still don't know the names for the boats, is really wild. The helm, yeah. Like there's a lot of buttons and knobs and ropes and pulleys. The shark cannon was there. She has a bunch of parrots behind her.
We met. That was the birth of Patrick.
Because
Yeah,
you said
Yeah.
typo.
You said
It's
carrots.
carrots
Yeah, it
instead
was
of parrots, and that's
yeah.
where.
I don't mean to derail this, and I know you want to try and keep.
No,
this
you're
as
fine.
exclusive of- I just like I vividly remember when the shark cannon happened. It's like, and then a shark launches out, and Eric's just like, huh?
Yeah. Oh. No,
I
there was
had that
I
translated.
remember cracking the fuck up at that.
There
so
was
hard. Just,
some there were some glorious just random moments on the sea monster. Guff, the pitch master.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Anyway, you get to the island, or you get to the island. Jake sees, oh, it's up in the sky. You guys are like, oh, cool. Earl and Naomi, who's another person, who's a dwarven, another artificer on the ship, who is just very abnormally heavy.
Do we know why?
He ate gold at one point. Ate a bunch of gold and it's in his belly. And you guys get to the floating island. You're like, how are we gonna get up there? And Earl and Naomi are like, we got away. And they tie you guys into a catapult that has like a contraption on it. You guys are like, what's going on? They launch you into the sky. You pull the red cord, and it turns into like a hot air balloon. And you guys rise up into the sky, and you land on a network of islands called Sky Island.
And on a network named CNN.
CNN, NBC. That wasn't anything. So then, as you guys were on Sky Island, it was very cool and very epic. You ran across a bridge, fought a bunch of skeletons. That's where we found out that Arius was afraid of heights.
Yeah.
And you found the island was kind of it was all in ruin. Like all the islands that had buildings on them were all crumbling and fading. There were these vines with this black goo kind of infesting the whole island. And then throughout one of the fights, some of the black goo got on Arius, and he like put it on a blade of grass. And the blade of grass was all like, oh, it wasn't like, oh, it just started like kind of quivering and like reacting.
Hey, why'd you gobble my last ghoul?
Oh,
Hey.
what the heck?
and then it was ball.
Exactly. Yeah. Then
little.
Ball.
it's true. That was another thing that was zero planned. Oh, Kippa, you got something important there too. Actually, you found a bracelet that had a black gem in it. That when you put it on, every time you put it on, you have to do a wisdom saving throw, and if you pass it, you don't talk to, which we find out later, Lolth the Spider Queen. You were using that. You get spider climb. It's very cool. Arius goes on, or you guys all keep going on. You find a pool of golden liquid that had a bunch of images of a very happy woman laughing around them. Arius dipped the blade of grass into this liquid luck, basically, and that's what gave it its like budding, kind sentience, which would eventually become his grass ring Paul. Then you guys continue on. You meet another NPC that we forget about on the reg, but it's actually kind of fine that we forget about him because he is the best rogue.
Right, Chewy.
Chewy, the half shifter. My first attempt at doing social media, I found a very cute Pomeranian named Chewy on Instagram that I've worked with in film a couple of times, and I started following them and talking to them, and they were like, "You're so cute." I'm like, "Can I put you in my story?" They're like, "Of course." So That's what Chewie comes from. But you also met the little pixie named Lark Fire Eater. just a cool last name, not important.
Yeah, he
was
never ate fire.
He was
Wait,
done.
Jake was also with us.
Jake was
while
with
we
you
were...
the entire time,
Okay.
but I'm skipping over
him
over
being-
that.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jake was with us the whole time. So
Also, question: wasn't
Yes.
Paul like Paul's name was like Pololus or something like
Paulus.
that?
It's Paula Luce.
Paulolus, yeah.
we just call him Paul for
And
short, though.
then Paul
Oh.
is the first. Yeah, the first
Yeah.
4 letters.
But you guys met Chewie, who was a rogue.
Good memory, Knox.
Yeah, it was
Jeez.
very good.
I told
Um,
you, I binged the shit out of like the first 20
Hi, Brandon.
something. I don't remember how many episodes you were at when I had first jumped on to listening to you guys, and I just like boom, boom, boom,
yeah.
like back to
Chewie-
back, just like pissing myself laughing, all kinds of shit. So I'm just reliving right now. Like I know exactly where we are as he's recapping it.
It was very cathartic to re-listen to all this, but we're almost done. Last episode, guys, or at least for my section.
Yeah.
You met Chewie, who was there to help his very sick friend Lark Fire Eater, who introduced himself as the King of Sky Island. You all healed him, and that seemed to kind of heal the islands themselves a little bit. You all came. You talked to him a little bit about what you were doing. You mentioned Captain Falcon. Lark was like, "Oh yeah, I definitely know him." And he was like, "Are you here for the sword, right?" And you're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Cool. I'm tired of it being here. Let's go get it." And he led you to a little deeper into the island where you saw a crumbling half tower, with the sword like point down in think Ocarina of Time, Temple of Time. Those are the visuals that we have for that. And you guys walk up to it, you pull it out of the ground, and as you do, 2 shambling mounds appear. But they're not just any shambling mounds, because as I said, we're not from a close podcast. We are from a far podcast. And these shambling mounds,
As we've said.
these shambling mounds looked like giant bears, who one of them was covered in rocks and one of them was covered in vines, and they became known as Rocky and Vinny. And that is episode 15. Who ordered the monster Caesar salad with 1,000 islands dressing on and an extra side of pain? So who wants to take that one?
I don't know if the naming convention got worse or better.
Oh, it got worse. It got so worse. Once I gave up that creative control, it got so much worse.
All right, so now it's my turn.
Wait,
I've got my section.
Do I have to say what happens in the fight, or do you have that one?
No, actually, I think you have to say what happens.
They kill the monsters. It's really cool. Jake breaks his ankle. Arius rolls like shit the entire time. Kippa does some wild, cool Fae shit. This is the first time we saw your goat eye, actually.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
during
the very first time, now that I'm thinking about it, was like right when we got on the sea monster and we were traveling to Neverwinter. He says goodnight to Arius without his hat and his eye patch on.
Oh yeah,
Just general blanket statement. There's been a plethora of golden scenes between Arius and Kippa where they're talking about their children and just being dads. Glorious. And that's it. So you guys fought. No, the more important thing that happened is as you beat Rocky and Vinny, Lark was like, "We gotta get out of here. This place is falling down. There's a teleportation circle over here. It goes back to Neverwinter. You're gonna lose your ship, but you'll be safe." And you're like, "It was cool." And you guys were gonna go take the teleportation circle, but you waited too long, and Lark got killed. And once he died, the magic of the islands finally went away, and they all started falling. And as you guys were falling out of the sky, Christian, take it over.
Yes. All right. So I taking it away with episode 16. And I just have little bullet points here, so we'll see if I can actually make this go a little faster.
Please, for the love of God.
So, I have Lark dies and goes to heaven. I guess we said that.
We did. We did.
So, good for him. He believed in Jesus Christ. We fall down Sky Island in a boat. Apparently, Kippa's Fae affinity let them survive because I was able to activate the gem on the ship when others who tried weren't.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
So there you go. We then once we hit the ground, we're pulled out of the water. We meet surprise, Edward Teach, Blackbeard himself, in a sort of time loop vision thing. He's got an Irish accent. He specifically says, "You shouldn't believe everything you hear." He also says, "Don't break the prism," bringing that up again. He also says, "Things aren't always as they seem, and you are not alone on your search for Atlantis." And he also has an anchor tattoo that a couple other members of the Sea Monster have, Elizabeth and Captain Falcon, I believe.
Those are the ones that you have seen. Yes.
Yes. And those tattoos have some kind of significance to Atlantis in that.
I don't know, baby.
Potentially.
We'll see. So Arius mentions his oath to Icarus and how he will never break it while the party debated cutting out the lens of the telescope. They also eventually decided to wait and do it with Icarus's guidance rather than doing it right there after they got the sword. Safely we're back on the Sea Monster after they broke out of that like little time loop vision with Blackbeard.
Yeah. Well, that was that's the part of the riddle was you have to remove Neth's eye. Neth's eye is the key.
That's
the
right.
telescope was referred to as Neth's eye at some point, so they had to cut the prism.
Yeah, the eye of Neth.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we move on to episode 17.
That was fast.
The party deals with the possible mutiny during this episode.
Oh yeah, Corey.
Wow.
Yeah, Corey. She had two other homies. One was a Tabaxi, another one was a Dragonborn. Tiefling.
Oh
okay.
yeah. Okay, I do remember.
It was a very brief, very brief sort of stint of conflict amongst some of the older Sea Monster members. Arius talks to Slal and finds out that he might have been near Arius's hometown of Pago.
Not hometown, but town he knew.
Okay. Town that Arius knew well, Pago, in his homeland. So far east, it's back west.
There was a moth flying in my face.
Slal mentions the white stone that they were seeking, and Arius reacts with severity. I said, possibly because these stones were involved in the death of his son. And then also in that episode, Falcon intimidates Corey by doing some weather magic stuff and basically calling her bluff. And I put that he intimidates her into submission for now. And then we're on to episode 18.
Wow, you are ripping through these. I love it.
Kippa is really inspired to finally come clean and reveals to the party where it is that he's from, the Feywild, which you've already mentioned. But that actually the first time that he tells that and is open about that is in episode 18. He takes off his eye patch, shows that he has like a goat eye, goat horns, and he shows that to the captain in the party for the first time. And he does this by finishing the story that he started in the jail cell of Benjamin the Bold, the Halfling King of Old, which kind of tells the story of his people and how they came into the Feywild.
I think. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I think that was also the episode where I legitimately like cried.
That was the first, because that was the whole thing with Captain Falcon. Like all of you guys were just like spitting it hard, and it was awesome. Like,
and I think that was also the first time I had. I'm like looking for it right now, just to like confirm. But when I actually messaged the From Afar Twitter, like on DMs, I think that was the episode that like fully just destroyed me emotionally. In a good way, but like that's when I was like, oh my god, yo, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So tells of how him and his village long time ago eventually got stranded in the Fae and then ended up adapting to the timeless life of the dance of the Seelie and Unseelie courts. Arius learns for the first time about the different planes and how there might be a plane where the deceased go that could be accessed by mortals. This troubles him greatly. Arius reveals his son's blade for the first time, the blade of the mithril dragon, and sort of refuels his desire and energy to take on Neth. After that, the party went into downtime, which we eventually start doing, at the end of arcs and stuff. We do a little like, all right, what type of scenes do you want to do while we're traveling or this or that? So what happened was Arius went to Slal, had him take a look at the Blade of Grass, who would then soon become named Paulalus, that he found on Sky Island. And he was now, yeah. So now at this point, he was starting to have suspicions of it having some kind of sentience and a mental connection to him. So he wanted Slaal to look at that. He heard the voice once leaving Slaal's. It sounded like his own mimic back at him. It was a touching little scene I put. And then he goes and works out in the gym, sparring with sea monsters. Kippa uses his time to find some new plain clothes and throws away his prismatic, fey, colorful clothes tied to a cannonball. He also then notices the tattoos of fellow crewmates and learns that they can be used to tell a story of your life.
The first Kippa tattoo.
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh shit, I want to have my skin. Like, I want a skin picture." So then we meet Ink, who's a Kenku, which props to David because that's such a cool idea for a tattoo artist, for someone that can like a Kenku who can't create but he can replicate.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool.
Ink is one of my favorites, but
so the first piece. Yeah, the first piece that he gives is like this massive tree tattoo going up Kippa's back that has like a little house nestled in it. And it's his home in the Feywild. And then at the end of the travel, the party and the sea monster find themselves arrived like a ship in the night. Exactly like that, actually. To Neverwinter. Because we arrived at night in a ship. So we arrive to Neverwinter. It's a light with torches and the promise of answers from Icarus.
Oh, hold on one
danger.
second. Hold on one second.
Yes? What's happening?
We've reached an advertisement in our show.
An advertisement.
Yeah. So our subscribers can still hear us. Hi, subscribers.
Yeah, the subs can still hear us, but we'll pause, I guess, for...
It'll be done in just a few moments.
30 seconds.
No fire race.
You're doing great, Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to just like when I was listening to it, I'm like, okay, what is only essential?
Yeah.
Like
that's what I did too.
Yeah,
I lost all.
I'm probably gonna be editing it as I'm reading it.
Totally fine. Basically, what I'm doing is like if there's ever a point where it's like, oh, we're back. Hello, everyone.
Hey, we're back.
If there's ever a point where it's like something's important, I'll just like jump in like there's something important here. Like
please, if you guys remember anything that I don't.
Yeah.
Just
in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody.
What's up,
Hi.
We're on what episode, Christian?
Currently on episode 18. End of the episode, Kippa gets his first tattoo. It's of one of the trees in Bent Branch, his home village. And it's the tree where his house is nestled into.
Really quickly, I think also was where the first attempt at a party name had happened.
Yes,
it is.
But not really relevant anymore.
Yeah. But real quick, for everyone who just joined, hello, we're from Afar Podcast.
Hi.
And we are recapping our first 59 episodes. And we're on episode 18 right now. So
Fear not, if you missed anything, we'll be re-releasing this for later listening. For anyone that wants to jump in, get into the story right when our good, amazing, talented friend Knox here joins us.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Episode 60 is me.
Cha-ching!
So
I kind of like low-key wish that it was like episode 69. You know, that'd be like,
right.
Oh,
nice.
like episode 69. That's where I come in. But like, damn,
we just jump. We just make it 69.
We just switch it from like 59 to 69.
So Christian, take it away. Episode 19.
Sorry,
Take
I didn't
it
mean
away.
to do that.
No, you're fine. We arrive in Neverwinter at night, like a ship in the night, on a ship in the night. The gang gets disguises from Kippa. This is the start of episode 19. Before they go into Neverwinter, as they suspect most of them are wanted criminals after last time when Kippa murdered someone. Arius got a 7, so he got a hooded cloak and a shitty donated beard. And Kippa looked like Wario or a smaller Naomi.
Both great options.
I forgot about that.
So Captain Falcon brings up Corey and her 2 cohorts, Meldos and Vale.
Yep, you got it.
So good thing I have those names remembered because they now disappear from the story forever. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who opposed the captain in the last episode? They were trying to do the mutiny. We row to the docks of Neverwinter. They start we get an eerie feeling from the city. It's usually bustling. Even at night, there's activity, but everything feels off and empty. So we soon see wanted posters once we're walking around the dock area, getting into the city more. And there's wanted posters for everyone except for Arius, strangely enough. They were all wanted for different things, but Kippa's blatant but not so blatant murder from their last visit struck out as suspicious. How did they know and get such a good likeness of him when it was not really noticed by the guard? The captain then releases the prisoners and Kippa uses
No, he doesn't
the
release
fear
them.
spell. Oh, he doesn't? Oh, he doesn't. That's right.
He chained them to the fucking wanted posters.
That's right.
Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah.
And then Kippa used the fear spell on them before we took off, making them see their worst nightmares and pull and yank uselessly at their chains. But we walk slowly deeper into the silent and suspicious Neverwinter. We soon encounter a small street urchin boy. We question him and learn that a curfew has been set in the city by order of the Lord's Alliance, an unprecedented event. Some coin loosens the urchin's tongue, and it seems that after the party last left was when the curfew went into effect. They also learn that the Lord's Alliance patrols the city at night. The kid's name is Saffron.
Yeah, and he had vibrant
breaks
green
in-
eyes.
Yes, vibrant green eyes. Kippa breaks into the labyrinth while Arius is getting some of that info. And after sneaking around, he sneaks through the marketplace, using the feint for the first time to disappear, which is a sword that Slal sort of improved and enchanted for him. So he gets inside the shop, and it's been completely ransacked. All the shelves are torn off the walls, furniture smashed. And while Kippa is looking around in there, he finds a little trapdoor storage thing hidden. And inside, he finds a knife with Neth's symbol, an orb of obsidian, a black slate, and a piece of black chalk, and some books and bottles of goo.
Wait, really?
And yeah, apparently.
Those are unimportant. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Throw those away.
I didn't have them written down anywhere.
Okay,
and
good.
like the rings,
Yeah.
they absolutely were fully forgotten until about 10
yeah.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yep. We have a prerequisite number of episodes before we can even mention acquired items. So then the party joins Kippa inside of the shop, where there was an obvious struggle they're seeing now. Kippa gives them the sack of items to Captain Falcon since they were his friends. So the party goes deeper into the office, where they find the struggle got more violent. There's blood and a smear leading towards the elevator, the secret elevator, and also what looks like a part of an antler. So perhaps that belonged to Minnow. I wrote the plot thickens with 4 C's. They go down to his secret lair and find it mostly undisturbed, though. But they can't find the journal. Kippa intuitively decides to use the telescope like Falcon had, seeing the threads of connection between all things. Wanting to explore the Fey connection he has, that him and Minnow share, he subjects himself to the visions again, and then understanding more of it this time, and then begins to guide the party after locating Minnow's thread.
Well, one important thing is you turned on your Fey eyes, basically.
Right.
So, yeah, and that it showed that the telescope reacted differently at that point.
Okay. So then they go back upstairs where the blood trail stops, and so does Minnow's thread. And I put here just a speculation, likely some kind of dimensional travel is, I think. But who knows?
Who knows?
Or they died. Kippa reveals that him and Minnow had less than a friendly conversation last time, like David mentioned, and that there might be some concern that Minnow caused this in some way. The party then agrees it's time to leave, and Kippa uses his brace, the spider climb bracer, to get to the round window up high, letting in moonlight. They don't want to go out the front because they're afraid it's being watched or something. And then he fails his first wisdom saving throw for the first time while using that. And he hears a mysterious, beautiful voice speaking into his mind saying, "My children are just arriving." And then a knock is heard on the door to the labyrinth.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That was the craziest episode.
That was a big.
It was pretty
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It was a hype one. So especially for us too, because it took us another 2 weeks or a month to record, and we were just "What is that?
What's happening?"
So the party is Kippa's terrified. Never seen him more terrified in his life. He takes off the bracer, So, oh wait, that happens a little bit later. So the party is approached by some drow who seem to appear out of nowhere and have a connection to their queen and the armband that Kippa was wearing when he heard the voice. Kippa uses hypnotic pattern and freezes everyone but the drow,
Yeah.
who talk with him privately for a minute.
Mhm.
Then the knocks continue to get louder and more frequent. The drow convince Kippa to accept their queen's favor and take up the armband. Otherwise, they won't help the party escape the 50 Lords Alliance soldiers outside. So Kippa begrudgingly accepts, despite his deep-seated fear of things being in his mind. The party makes their way through the big round window in the back of the shop with the Drow's help, and they begin to zipline across to the other buildings. Arius has 2 buttholes, all the while seeing the massive armored men outside the shop they were just in.
Do you remember the Drow's names? Did you write that down?
It was like Ray. One of them never said his name, I thought. And then one was something with an R.
Yeah.
I'll
find it.
It's like Aries has 2 buttholes. The drow just
it's an important piece.
It's very important.
And at the head of the soldiers was William Corvier.
God.
I also put that Kippa skated down the line.
You did.
Sang Escape from the City.
Yeah.
From Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was where he like went buck wild singing the Sonic song.
That's great.
So then the drow leave them. Kippa meets with Lolth, which who is the queen the drow they were talking about. He has no idea who she is or how big of a deal that is. He just thinks she's like a queen. He accepts the partnership upon learning that he is a queen's chosen warrior. Good on David for finding probably the only way that Kippa would have accepted something in his head.
Sorry, what did you say? I was reading chat.
I said good on you for finding like a way that it like Kippa would have accepted like keeping.
What was the reason? Because I want to know what it did good.
Oh, because it gave him a big head.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right.
He was like, oh, okay, yeah. Cool.
Well,
this was actually
when you put it that way.
This next point is the first time I actually cried when we were.
That's right.
When we were.
So.
Because the next part, unless I hope I'm not step on your toes here, Arius tried the telescope again, and he got something different too.
I think I might have missed that. So yeah please.
Yeah, Arius on the roofs of Neverwinter, Arius tried the telescope again with Falcon and all them, or whoever, I forget who was there, and it took you to the pine tree, right? That was the first time. Yeah, it took you.
Well, I saw. It's like I looked into it,
and like you like felt like. You felt like your.
I saw Allectus, and then he like looks, and there's like a moment of recognition.
Yeah, and that one got me.
Well, because it was like he was like very distraught that he saw his son.
Yeah.
But then it became like an exciting, happy thing. It was a really cool.
Yeah, you played that well,
really
Christian.
Well. You did too, man. It was fantastic. Okay, so then the party makes a plan to have a clandestine meeting with William Corvier at the docks at noon the next day. Kippa, using disguised self, leaves a note for him at the Lord's Alliance headquarters.
That was funny. I remember that.
Yeah, it's very important.
That was one of the first times I realized that I did not know how to play D&D. Because I got a lot of DMs about like the Lord's Alliance would have known that they would have had spells that we could assume someone was fake. I was like, I don't care.
Who cares?
Hello, Magic campaign.
Story, okay? Rules out the window. Reality is this one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're like Mickey Mouse in a Bloodborne continent.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it.
We're like modding like Elsa into GTA.
Yeah,
absolutely. GTA Online is probably the best FAP video game equivalent.
That's probably bad. Yeah. All right, keep going.
Sorry.
So after the meat goes down, the party makes a hasty exit after pushing through some guards. They get to Willem in the rowboat. And
first mention of Willem.
Oh man!
Begin paddling out to the sea monster.
Well, you forgot one important thing, Christian.
Wait.
Keep going.
Oh, is it the watermelon?
It is the watermelon.
Yeah, I agree. Kippa stole a watermelon. because he figured they were already criminals and they were wanted. So,
But you also like
grabbed one
broke
of
it
them.
immediately. You were like
Yeah,
running.
no,
and-
I rolled and I was like, can I like roll for how well I fall?
Yeah,
I
it was
really
really
wanted
funny.
I really wanted some slapsticky.
It was very
fun
funny. Sorry,
going
keep
on.
going, keep going.
But
keep going.
no, David, I think that the part that is most important that we remember the bit from that scene is you said, "By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you arrested." That was literally one
That
of the
was
funniest things.
very fun.
Are you ordained in the state of Neverwinter to do that?
I am to make a citizen's arrest, apparently.
So then the Lion Crown Norhand appears at the docks himself, and the party's breath catches in their mouths as the fog clears, and as they turn the ship around and see a blockade of an armada of ships.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like a legitimate whoa scene.
I
for
do.
me.
I have a question. I don't know if I'm misremembering this. Wasn't the fog also in the shape of a middle finger?
No,
no.
I made
yeah.
middle finger.
That's coming up next.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm jumping
at the
the
end,
gun.
I think at the end of the episode, I did make a middle finger like.
Yeah, it was like a giant middle finger to Norhan.
Yeah, it was like a minor illusion because then when the next one starts and starts with us like seeing the armada, he changes it to "I'm sorry."
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, there's some funny stuff about like, oh, how do we get out of this? Blah blah blah. I combined both these episodes because it's the Armada battle is huge and epic and has so much going on. So the party has a quick debate about the best ways to jump ship and escape before the captain steps in with Elizabeth. Her confidence and energy helps to ignite the party as well as they decide what squads they want to be with. Those on the deck for when boarded, those with Earl below manning the guns, or those with Jake out on the Barracudas, which are fantasy steam gem punk.
Barracudas.
Gem punk jet skis.
I love it.
Arius helps.
This where Rodney died too.
Oh yeah, Rodney and Jet.
And
which was needed.
We killed them
They
very
needed to
quickly.
go.
Yeah.
I think I probably mentioned
Rodney
that
and Jeff.
somewhere
That's
there.
what their names were.
Yeah.
Get those guys out.
The horrific animatronic Disney. Sorry, keep going, Christian.
You're fine. I'm gonna attempt to make this fast. There were a lot of notes to take in this one. So Arius helps with the guns at the head of the ship while Kippa fumbles around on a Barracuda, somehow being effective as their squad uses grappling hooks to drag the enemy blockade ships out of line. Super cool idea by Dave, making a path for the sea monster to push through. Also, the party notes Elizabeth using her unique relationship with the ship itself to use some sort of form of like possession magic. I think Arius is the only one that really sees that happening.
That's where you first saw. That's where
The,
you
like,
saw the second tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah, the anchor tattoo.
I had to go back out. Ares had to go back out on the deck because they were like doing those Helm's Deep berserker orc ladder things.
Yeah. So
that happened later. Keep going.
So it allows her to communicate real time via her parrots and gives her unnatural control over the ship. And yeah, I put it's related to her anchor tattoo in some way, Ares believes. During a long drawn out battle where the sea monster put up quite a good fight, they began to see that it was simply too much for them to handle. Where 10 Lord's Alliance men fell, 20 stood to replace him. We even lost Rodney and Jeff, founders of Open Mic Night on the Sea Monster. The party gathered together on the deck of the Sea Monster just as the remaining Armada ships began to surround them and overwhelm them. Kippa runs inside Captain Falcon's cabin, weaving past fellow pirate and enemy Lord's Alliance soldiers alike. Arius convinces Elizabeth it's time to retreat, and she sends the ship into a dead stop to immediate U-turn and then blast way back the way they came. The battle on the deck of the ship rages on as men are thrown to their backs and stomachs left and right. All the sea monsters, however, have experienced this before, and they hold their footing strong. Kippa stumbles out of Falcon's chambers right at that moment with the Sword of the Seven Seas. He calls out to Captain Falcon, surrounded by Lord's Alliance men. Sword not faltering for a second as he slices and stabs through them. Don't break the prism.
This was the absolute first moment on this show that I was just like, it was such a weird cathartic moment because it's like I had written out so many plans for like who was gonna cut it, who was gonna do it, and then you did the one thing that I was not ready for, and I was like, all right. I was like, all right. let's work on those trust muscles, because that from that point on was just improvised, and I don't know, it was really awesome just to like be able to step back and just be like, all right, guys, we're telling this story together. Let's make it happen. Like it was very, very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Kippa calls out, "Don't break the prism," finally completing that foreshadowing motif that had been appearing. And he throws the sword to Falcon, who has the telescope, and in that moment, time seems to freeze. Captain slices through the telescope like a hot knife through butter.
Mm-hmm.
A brilliant white light bursts forth. From the vantage point of Lion Crown Norhan on the docks, we see the gathering storm suddenly be ripped apart by vicious winds. The glowing white figure of a young woman stands hundreds of feet above the deck of the sea monster as a wailing scream is heard echoing across the water. The party and everyone else on the deck of the sea monster find themselves in a blank white space, unable to move as they feel their entire lives being weighted and examined. In the epilogue, we hear a deep, ethereal voice say with excitement, "Ah, she's finally back."
Oh.
That's right.
All right, 23.
23.
Yeah. We're doing it, people.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Those are some great episodes.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
All right, so to episode 23, the party meets the occupant of the prism that was cut from the telescope. They are trapped in this white dome-like space as their souls are examined by this being that's holding them there. Every time they speak, each person's memories and life begin to play across the dome. For Arius, we see a battle between bronze-clad warriors and amethyst-clad warriors. A mithril sword-wielding warrior leads the bronze warriors. For Kippa, we see the twilight realm of the Fae, a strange dark creature of shadow and glowing eyes. For Falcon, it goes dark and giant yellow eyes open slowly. We see Jake's home of Volcano Bay as he sails away from his floating home as the mountain erupts. For Elizabeth, we see her on a beach with another woman who looks terribly wounded and is soaked as they lay in the sand.
I know what that is now.
Right, like listening to that, I'm like, oh damn,
Yeah.
David, okay.
Yeah.
Like now, like you saying it now, I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Andrew Strong would
So,
be proud of me.
The being is skeptical of the party, and they struggle to recall their memories of what led them to be in this place, freed by our party. They put pressure on the party, nearly crushing them, and actually crushing some Ports Alliance soldiers into marbles. The party brings.
I forgot about.
Oh, I remember too, like on the
Fuck those
Instagram.
dudes. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and like I remember on the Instagram too, you put like R.I.P. like or in memory of, and
In
it was
memoriam.
just a picture of marbles.
Yeah.
Keep talking, Christian. I'm gonna start transitioning just through some art again, everybody. But keep talking,
Yeah.
Christian.
Oh yeah, I want to see this while you're doing this.
Cool. So, the party brings up Neth, and the being begins to become even more agitated as this strikes a chord. They are connected to Neth closely. The being is named Prism. When Prism begins to muse, we see these two humanoid shapes, one in white robes and one in black robes, both with white hair. They stand amidst this epic space of creation itself as it swirls around them. Arius tries to calm the being by telling her that they mean no harm. He asks more about the images we see when Prism thinks. They are some kind of parents to her. Kippa asks for his free will back, and the party is asked, "Can you protect me?" If released from this pocket dimension and Prism agrees to their help, the party must help protect her. Arius gives a stirring speech telling of how both him and Kippa are fathers and are no strangers to protecting those that they care about. We see images of Arius and his wife. Hot Goblin was what I put.
Oh no!
That's right. We quelled that one pretty quickly though. We were like, no. But yeah.
So with a newborn Electus and then a child Electus practicing with the sword, we see Kippa's wife and their newborn, whose tail is being held like a teddy bear, super cute, up in the trees of twilight. The party is released from the subdimension, and are back on the sea monster, still surrounded by the Lord of the Alliance and in dire straits. Prism softly falls to the floor of the deck unconscious, and Arius goes over to check on her and make sure she's okay. Two harpoons wedge themselves into the front of the ship, Kippa begins disconnecting them using Shatter. All of a sudden, Captain Falcon kneels down by the solitary form of Prism lying on the deck. He touches her shoulders and says something not audible to the party. Suddenly, the gem in Prism's forehead begins to glow, and then only white.
Yo, Falcon be acting away though.
Right? There's stuff.
He's wilding out.
He's doing something.
It sucks that he's so dead.
Man,
We
will he
haven't
be in
gotten there yet,
Lumia
dude.
though?
No.
We got 2 more episodes before he dies. I mean, so
this is also Prism
white
on
becomes-
the screen right now.
oh, cool. So the white becomes a wild tunnel of colors and shapes and darkness and light as the entire ship is teleported to a seemingly random location. From the docks, Norhan sees the orange cloud clear that Patrick had made to help cover them.
Oh,
And the
right,
ship
yeah.
completely vanishes. Episode 24.
That's Falcon.
Andy ham-boning like a madman is the first thing I have. And then the next thing is 8 our brains 6 times the size, or do we actually have 6 actual Brians in our heads?
Oh yeah.
Man,
6 actual
that
Brians,
was-
baby.
I think what made this may have been the most narcissistically communal moment of our career was when someone on Twitter named themselves 6 actual Brians.
It was very
And
strange.
I was like, how?
And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's us or something else, right?
Or
Because it can't be us.
Maybe we just stumble into something. Anyway.
It was very strange.
So I also put down we finally decide to include the sex scenes. I forget a little bit what that's about.
Wait,
What?
what? That's not true. We didn't do that. There's been no sex scenes on this.
Right.
None whatsoever. Unless, I don't know, maybe James Wagonblast. He's pretty damn sexy.
It's pretty close.
Oh yeah,
Fucks.
wasn't didn't we say, well, not we, but like didn't you say that it was like Ron Perlman?
Ron
Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy, there we go. I was like Ron Perlman, no, sorry. Ron
Perlman
Jeremy.
is great.
Both intimidating for different reasons.
Yeah. Keep going, Christian.
So the ship crashes through a tear in reality, and everyone gets thrown around as the ship plummets a few remaining feet to the water. The party rights themselves and checks up on everyone, making sure they're okay. Elizabeth is passed out on the ground from her overexertion. The party is unable to wake her up with magic, and she's taken below deck to Doc's medical room.
Doc.
Um,
Goddamn.
Yeah, Doc is amazing. Arius's interest in the mystery of the anchor tattoo grows. I put the amazing pitch crew. This is where they first show up. Guff and his
Guff and the Pitchmasters.
and the Pitchmasters. Falcon calls for Slawl to come up on the deck, and he seems on edge. There's something eerie about this particular ocean they ended up in. The crew is left with the questions: where are they exactly? Who and what is Prism? How do they wake her up? What is the damage to the ship, and what kinds of repairs are needed to get it back to 100%? So they ponder these questions as the captain's growing unease spreads to the party. Arius and Kippa confront the captain, finally asking him for answers that they are suspicious he has. He agrees and says that we should all share information more freely if it will help us solve this mystery of Atlantis. However, he won't share Elizabeth's story, as that is her story to tell. This is the first Borg's Wares episode, also.
Oh,
Was it
24.
really?
Oh, very
All
nice.
right.
Also, didn't Falcon have a huge axe just sticking out of his
did.
head?
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Damn,
It
I'm
was
sorry.
blowing up your spot left
Have a
and
little
right,
faith.
Christian. Sorry.
Have a little faith. Yeah, I put classic bathroom from listener perspective, the classic Borg.
That was. We should revisit
classic-
that. That was a
Classic
good one.
bathroom.
We could go back to that maybe. As they go to oh my god, I'm just imagining now like those TikTok just like violent fart sounds instead of just like a very calm like peeing sound going to the bathroom. It's just like, dear God.
Oh, Borg.
All right, everyone who's listening, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't spoil the fun.
Don't spoil the fun for everyone else. Shit.
Literally.
Oh my god.
Literally. The party decides it's time to find Prism and see if they can wake her and finally get some answers. As they go to find Prism, Slawl appears on deck in full coverings and an umbrella and goggles. No sunlight for him, no sir. I said, for some reason.
I literally
wrote, no sunlight for him, no
this
sir.
has been something we keep. Slawl is very
Scar.
no. Scar is very wow. Slawl is very scarred. We always seem to like miss over that, but it's like blisters and like.
I never knew that.
Yeah, no, he's.
I didn't know that either, David.
Well,
I didn't either, and I drew him.
I know, it's all right. You just have a young sloth. I mentioned it. I think I actually just cut it out of one of the episodes early on because he.
I could see that happening.
Yeah,
he's extremely.
Those early episodes, the editing was the Wild West.
Okay, because I remember when we drew him, we only talked about the scar on his arm. We didn't really talk about him being all blisterful.
Well, at that point, I was like, maybe I just let this go. But now, like hearing this again, like no, he's pretty scarred up. Not like
it's
like disfigured.
So,
He just
it makes sense then why he would be like super overly cautious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also say they notice how fucked up the sea monster is.
Christian, does Slaw give you Melvin vibes?
Oh my goodness! Whoa. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit like.
Love that.
Yeah, I like that. Anyways, Melvin's just a friend of ours, guys.
I think I've met him. Isn't he the one that we used to play Fall Guys with?
Yeah. Okay, so Slal takes her down below to his workshop to do some tests to determine how we can help her. Falcon has more eerie feelings. Falcon with the sword in his head bit.
Hate that word.
Wait, what? Eerie? Oh wait, yeah, it's your name.
It always like
It's about
anyway.
Keep going. We're so close to being halfway done.
Free time. Kippa goes and sits by Prism's bedside in Saul's workshop. Kippa is also full fang it out. He's comfortable in his own skin on the sea monster now.
Oh yeah.
So that's like when that started. Now 25. Okay. Kippa joins Slal as he uses his magical instrument to examine Prism. It turns out that she's radiating a ton of transmutation magic.
Mm-hmm.
Kippa doesn't know what that means. Rock to stone, ice to water.
Oh, that's right. You can transfer. Yes, Master Kippa.
Rock to stone,
ice to water.
Speaking of rock and stone, deep rock for rock and stone.
Yeah.
Maybe after this.
That's the reward if we get through this shit. Let's keep
honestly
going.
That's a good point. I have to be up early tomorrow. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Kippa also has Slal examine his spider climb of Loth's chosen. I said he decides he doesn't actually want to hear what kind of magic it exudes after Slal is surprised. So Arius finds an unused small storage room and uses it to set up a shrine to his ancestors. He puts bronze candles that never melt up in honor.
His little broom closet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got little calligraphy drawings of his mother's son and the Oni, a being with of myth with a demon-like mask. He meditates. Oh, here it comes.
Keep going.
He meditates for a while and has a somewhat spiritual encounter. And then we do the fireside chat number 1, which Andy took us through. Arius takes us back to his homeland and his return home from martial training. His homeland is similar to Japan and ancient Rome, a cross between the structure and military focus of both empires, and also the agriculture and architecture taken inspiration from both cultures. We say Joman in this joke. He arrives home and is greeted by his younger brother Cetus and his old tutor Lugan. Cetus has a blue nose, an even higher ranking type of rarity than Arius's own red nose. Unfortunately, he met with an accident that left him with only one arm, snatching away any chances of martial glory. However, he still has kept on with a positive spirit, managing most of the household now that their mother was getting older. The two brothers catch up, and then Cetus moves Arius, or leaves Arius to speak with their mother. Electa has always had strong opinions on what Arius should do with his life. After all, she bested his father on the battlefield, earning the Onos name and marriage to him. She tells him he must begin preparations to go back out into the field after so long away. Arius tries to fight with her, but she tells him with finality, "I am not putting you in any position. This is your position." And then we fade out of the fireside chat.
That's such a mom thing to do.
That was you. That was your line.
David, you handled that part well.
Yeah.
I'm hearing these things. I'm like, wow.
So we learn also that
Can I talk to the guy who did that? This is great.
Damn,
Derek? Who's writing this story?
Derek Tangerine, get up. Sorry, keep going.
So we learn that Cetus was always the more scholarly type, especially after losing his arm, and that became his strength. When the party says they'd love to visit his homeland one day, Arius displays mixed emotions about that prospect, saying, "Hopefully not too soon." We get to meet Blaze. He's got a tattoo that says "Hi, I'm Blaze" across his chest. He's a fire Genasi. He's the blacksmith.
Yep.
Fucking no regrets, ass motherfucker.
Arius learns more about his blade of grass. They share a moment of mental connection, and now having enough sentience to understand family, Arius welcomes him to his own family and names the grass Paulalus.
There it is.
Or Paulalus Onos, or Paul for short. So then the crew goes to sleep, taking shifts, patrolling the deck because things are spooky. Then late at night, Kipples and Slal's study. They see a gem glowing softly white and pulsating. Essentially, that is a countermeasure that him and Captain Falcon set up to alert them when a kraken was near. So we move on to the next episode, 26, which is where we talk about ornithology. And if you know, you know.
And scientists.
So then, yep, it's a kraken. We got a kraken. We bring the we bring the captain below deck and knock him out. And we do the bit about putting him in the cell right next to it because that really confuses him. We hear this sort of deep speak chanting coming from everywhere at once. Then the battle, like that. Yeah. And then the battle with the Kraken suddenly erupts. There's tentacles being blasted, sliced, and shot by Nolomi's ballista contraption. It's a hard battle, fought, and our party barely makes it through alive. As hope is fading, Captain Falcon bursts down the door to the deck. His eyes are black, and he calls out, "That is enough." Things calm. He walks over to the railing of the ship and begins to speak in that deep speak voice, and then he jumps off the ship. Then the start of episode 27, we hear Falcon say softly before jumping off the ship to Jake, "Save them." And Kip is still out in the water because he got thrown there, sees the horror under the ship and the massive size of the Kraken and the captain sinking into that tentacly embrace. The danger of the Kraken subsides, and it becomes apparent that Jake is now in charge. He stumbles at first, but after encouraging words from Arius and Kippa, he finds his confidence, and the crew accepts him, at least for now. The party and Jake go below to check with Slal, who might know what just happened. The crew jumps into action at Jake's orders, and the sea monster slowly limps towards the island. Below deck, they find an injured Slal. The captain was a bit rough with him when he broke out, and the party calls for answers, and Slal begins to oblige them, telling them of his deep trusting friendship with the captain and the secrets that Falcon told him that he had told no others. We learn that long ago Falcon was in service to one of the great Krakens. He came here from somewhere else. He crossed over and entered into the service of one of the great Krakens, and he left that Kraken service after some time for reasons unknown. Slal believes that we encountered Sazak, the Kraken, that night. Jake then asks why they went why they went to Baldur's Gate, trying to finally get some answers about that and what has sort of sent them on this new path. Slal explains that even after Icarus left the ship, the captain was secretly still obsessed with finding Atlantis. And one night before all this began, he met the party. Slal saw Falcon go off on his own on a rowboat. After he returned, he had a new purpose. He knew that he needed to go to Baldur's Gate, and then he met us. Slal comments on how strange it is that we were there in the cell and he was meant to be in, and Slal isn't sure that it was a coincidence anymore. Things start happening quickly, and like he'd never seen before after that night out alone. We have been set on a pathway to find something or discover something, he says. The party gets a plan together for moving forward. They get to the island, wake up Prism, and then keep going on this path, hoping and knowing that they'll see their captain on it eventually. But he's dead.
Super dead.
Super dead. So it seems everything is connected, even more so than the party would have thought. In all their lives, the traces of whatever is guiding them down this path can be seen. Arius restates his resolve in an inspiring speech, and there is a strange whirring noise that he can hear when he talks about Neth and his hatred and the quest.
There is?
Yep. you had him roll a whole thing, and there's something that happened.
Oh wait.
Say
that again?
No. I remember exactly what that was. And you guys failed to check a second time, and then I was like, we're done with this. It was Prism was subconsciously messing with the compass that she eventually turns into because when she wakes up and with Minus, you guys find that compass, and that's like how you guys are getting around now. She was subconsciously like, as you were talking about Neth and as you were talking about like Atlantis and stuff, she was hearing that, and it was like interacting with the magic of the compass.
Oh,
That's what that was.
Okay. Well, hey, learn something new. Also, we meet James Wagonblast.
A delightful addition.
Kippa gets some of his potions. Yeah, he goes way down to the bottom deck where all the explosions and experiments that James Wagonblast does won't hurt anyone.
Now that I think about it, it's the worst spot to put explosives. It's like the whole ship's going down.
Yeah. I also put Borg as a lunch lady this time. We already were getting weird.
We were getting real weird with it.
That one was hilarious.
You like the gray stuff? Gray stuff?
The gray stuff is
Gray stuff? You want the gray stuff? Oh.
So then we go back to James, made by Mike D20 at SlingerSci19.
Yep.
And the rest of us on Twitter. He's a wild potion maker who often has more explosions than successful potions. He looks like Ron Jeremy, a weirdly beautiful Duragar dwarf.
Oh yeah.
Named Wagon Blast because he used to blow up wagons, and then he switched to a naval focused.
Yeah.
The Kippa buys some multicolored potions from James for 51 gold and a 20-word favor.
Oh, I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah. Arius returns to his meditation cubby room. He goes through the rituals. He takes out Paul. He thanks Paul in his mind. They talk about each other in the last battle. He offers up a prayer to his son, saying Electus would have known what to do in this in his situation. He enters a trance meditation state, and he gets so deep to a state with his thoughts floating that he suddenly hears Father. And he opens his eyes and finds himself on a mountain from his homeland. Only the sky is a starry wonder, and what he thought were clouds are actually swirling pools of cosmic energy. He turns around and sees a single tree on the top of the mountain. Beneath it is a man in an Oni mask. Arius calls to his son and then realizes after a moment of emotion that it's actually the Oni of the Onos clan legend, one of the warriors of the many. The voices of the many speak to him and say that they want to fight with him. He is in a position of being able to change in the world, make change in the worlds. By accepting the many's help, he would become what the legends speak of. He would gain power and glory with their help, but he would also need to change. They offer him the power and knowledge of the ancestors, or some would say the rage of the many. The Oni touches his sword and Arius to Arius's shoulders, and Arius kneels. Suddenly he is back in the meditation room. He prays to his family and says that he will do it, that he will take up the mantle of the many.
I forgot about that.
That was a big turning point for
He multi-classes.
That's how we got Arius to be a.
Yeah.
All right.
Garbarino.
Yeah.
My mouth's getting dry. Here we go.
Yeah, that was great.
Even I'm trying to be fast now, Dave, and I feel like I'm.
I knew that hour limit wasn't going to work, but I want to try to keep us to it, so it's not 5 hours long. Yeah, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to work.
I'm going to try to edit these even more if I can. So, okay, episode 28. Important notes from the level up. Andy multi-classes to Barbarian. He becomes a much more tanky boy. Kippa gets more spells. They come across the island that they've been going to. There's a volcano at the center. It looks uninhabited. They begin to go for a lagoon so that they can make repairs and sort of hunker down there for a bit. Then the party goes ahead to make sure that things are safe on the beach. They explore the island a little bit. This is also where I got the little Kippo statue, and Werner Herzog makes his appearance.
Also worthy note, this is the first addition to the story contributed by Underground Oracle.
Yes, so they partner with us, and we get some amazing supplements from them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this was our first time using that stuff.
The Garship and the weapons you guys all got.
I put down the Arius pointing joke because that really was funny to me.
That was a good one. It was, yeah.
You're like, Arius points and he starts walking. I'm like, what? A normal human thing to do. Okay, so then we have Naomi and Chewie with us, and Werner Herzog in the lead. Yep.
I just listened to that episode too. We totally do.
Shit.
Yep. Super weird.
And we fought.
Yeah, shout out to Underground Oracle, I said here, but also we encounter some slime people that are surrounding a small creature. We beat their booties. We get some cool items from them. Kippa gets his Cloak of the Great Burglar. Arius gets the cube of the bounding gulfer.
Yeah.
We also have some swords from
Prongs of the
Underground
Black.
Oracle, the prongs
Dongs
of the
of the
black.
black.
Dongs
Yes,
of the
the dongs of the black.
Oh my god.
59 episodes and we haven't even said that. God damn. All right, keep
Dongs of
going.
the black.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Boop. So they find a small beaver person, which is called a gar ship, and the goo people were attacking them. And we killed the goo people. And the gar ship are amazing. His name is Gar.
Garvin.
Yeah, that's his full name, but he introduces himself as Gar in this episode. And then he mutters something about a solution to a problem, and then invites them to come back to his village. They make a long trek, get to a hole in the ground. The party sends Naomi and Chewie back to the ship to report on what they'd found thus far, because we forgot about them.
Very smart of you.
Yeah, we retroactively did that because we totally forgot about them. So then they go down. Arius has to crawl at some points, and then the chamber opens up into a wild and bustling bazaar beneath the ground. Episode 29, baby. Here we go.
Christian, you're doing great.
We're moving. Gar shows them around the massive underground Garship Bazaar. Merchants of all types, all races, a lot of anthropomorphic people. Garship love two things more than anything else: trading and the mana. Money isn't used; it's all bartering and trading of goods. Let's see. Kippa gets a bag of holding.
Is that really where you got it?
Yeah.
I thought I gave it.
Arius is still in his head about not being able to rage during their fight with the goo people. I guess that bothered him. He walks around and scopes out the Garship's military. Doesn't seem to find one. The only armed people are the other races present at the bazaar. Gar comes and grabs them, brings them to the chief. They go down a long tunnel. They get to this room with a pool in it. They see this elderly Garship doing this ritual, this healing ritual in this pool of water with a child that's sick. Doesn't appear to work, and he seems sad about that. And then we finally meet our first guest character with Jared Jakovich playing Tuarok, who is a dwarf barbarian. And phenomenal, just a phenomenal time. He jumped in with us and did such an amazing job. And his character was super fun too. And we had no idea that it was actually supposed to be The Rock for a long time. He was dropping like so many hints about it.
It was so beautiful. Like his subtlety was amazing.
Yeah.
So then Garvin introduces us to Elver Hernan, and the chief explains their plight. The healing waters and the protections of the mana that she offered them has left, and they don't know what happened. They don't know where she went, and they need to get her back. Apparently, they suspect a great beast has made up its home in the western part of the island. Hernan expects its evil presence has scared away the mana. Tuarok solemnly accepts the quest. He knows about the creature that they will face based on the chief's description. The party negotiates for some help with repairing the ship as well. And then Arius goes and gets accidentally gets some water from the pool of the mana on Paul. And suddenly Paul goes quiet, and Arius gets very worried about this development. As the party settles down to get supplies and prepare for the upcoming quest the next day, they begin to divvy up magic items from earlier. That's where Kippa gets the cloak, Arius gets the cube. Tuarok begins cooking a large shark for dinner, and then he does the whole "you can smell what Tuarok is cooking," and that's when he
and I think that's where you finally got it.
We all died.
Yeah,
we all died.
And then
times.
Arius goes on a walk to clear his thoughts. He's reaching out to Paulalus, not getting anything. Then he comes back and sort of to distract himself, he starts to try and attune to the bounding gulfer cube and rolls low, fails, and a giant cube of slime engulfs him.
Oh yeah.
And then he's stuck in that. And then we have a very comical fight scene. And like Kippa tries to like blast him out by like having him fail the saving throw on Thunderwave, but the goof succeeding, or just things.
It like half worked. You like got his legs out or something.
Yeah, it was a funny scene. Yeah. Good combat. So then Gar comes and gets them and grabs them, and he's gonna come with them apparently to go on their jungle mission to slay this evil beast that's taken up residence on the other side of the island. They begin to track what is called a Sephorial, which is another creation of Underground Oracle.
Mhm.
It's a giant octopus that lives in the treetops. So they
Terrifying.
travel for a while and then finally hear the sound of the tide pools to the west. Tuarok explains that Sephorials will lay their eggs in the tide pools. So suddenly the party is surprised as a massive Sephorial drops down behind them, cutting off their escape back to the forest.
Yeah,
The battle begins.
It's like a tree octopus.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's massive. The battle begins as the party is pushed back, Gar joining them in the fight. They fight off the beast through the tide pools, taking massive hits from its tentacles, casting confusion on Arius. Gar slaying the Sephorial with the final blow.
Oh, that's right.
Arius running into the woods with confused vigor. Suddenly, when the party thinks they've just won, the parents show up. 2 larger Sephorials burst from the water in a rage. Arius breaks out of his confusion and senses Paul no longer distant, but instead watching him intently. The fight drags on. When it seems like they might be overwhelmed, Tuarok finally deals a finishing blow to one of the creatures. Arius hears Paul speak to him, now in his own voice for the first time, and Paul says that he can help him. Vegetation begins growing underneath Arius' armor and strengthening him. Arius opens himself up to Paul and tries to rage again, and as he lets go of control, the vegetation moves quicker, and the armor around the growing masses begins to crack and break.
This is the
In
beginning.
the beginning,
The
Yeah.
beginning.
Right as it seems something might happen with Arius and his rage, Kippa finishes the fight with a well-placed arrow to the ink sac, spraying Arius in ink. The vegetation calms down, and Arius shakes himself out of what was almost like a deep fury. After the fight, the party and their companions harvest some of the trophies of their kill. Tuarok eating Sephorial eggs raw. The party returns to the pool of the
Forgot
mana.
about
They
that.
found
Ugh.
Hernanin there. He is saddened when he sees them as the mana has not yet returned. Suddenly a voice softly enters into the party's minds. Speak with the girl. Bring me the girl. And that concludes my 15 episodes of the recap.
Hey,
Oh,
let's
man.
go.
Well
There
done.
you
Well
go.
done.
I
Very
think
good.
I think it was like 30, 40.
That's pretty good.
Still-
Ish. Yeah.
Still
May I request a quick break so that I may refill on my water and
course.
also perhaps grab my dinner a little bit. Not to eat. Like
Yeah.
I'll just eat it on the side. I'll just like
Yeah.
we'll
No,
just
you
hear it
totally.
from the.
It is. Let's say we'll be back before 6 minutes is up.
I mean, yeah, we could do just 5 minutes. I just need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
refill water,
Yeah,
go to the
hey,
bathroom real quick, and then.
Also, option, we could do this in 2 parts.
That's also true. We
It
could
is
do
11
this.
o'clock.
It's up
That's
to you.
not
guys.
bad.
And we
I
did
was-
just hit the halfway point.
We could do it in 2
I
parts.
was
We could
I was
next
thinking-
Tuesday do the part 2, and then once we edit it, we could put it, one video
Oh yeah, yeah, we
You
could
do
do that.
together for the
That's
final
a pretty good
product.
idea. Yeah, because
yeah.
What do you think, chat?
Chat, yeah.
As
Are
much
you-
as I love, I was like, yeah, this is gonna happen in an hour.
Yeah, I was surprised because I was trying to, like I was
Yeah.
started just
Oh, yeah, you
not
were
even
mov-
reading
you
my
were-
bullet points at the
you
end
were
there. I
moving
was
and
just like
grooving.
scanning and summarizing, and even
Yeah,
still it took a
you
while.
were moving and grooving.
This is-
Butt
this
cheek
is-
one.
Butt
Like,
cheek
I
number
was,
one.
I was looking at my notes and I'm like, I should probably not say that. Get rid of that. Take this
Yeah.
out. Get rid of that. That's not
Well,
important.
that's what I
That's
said.
just funny.
So I said in the chat, like I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but like if we hadn't said that, I probably would still be talking. So
Well, it's just hard when there's just so many
There's so
good
much.
things.
Yeah.
Dear
Yeah.
God.
We're
I'm
also
gonna-
cutting out quite a bit.
there's a
Oh,
lot.
quite a
There's
bit.
a lot we're
Quite a
shifting
bit.
over.
I
An
mean,
entire
but
character
How about-
cutting out.
I mean, but that's the
Yeah.
that's the entire
Well, thanks,
thing,
chat.
right? Where it's like, hey, like, if you're really curious, you can go back and
That is
listen to
true. It's a recap, but it's a
Yeah, like
I guess.
we're
That's-
giving you enough meat and bones to be caught up. But if you want the actual potatoes, you gotta go listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good content.
Oh,
It's
tapes.
good soup.
It's also
Uh,
just really fun for me to kind of go back through this and be
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of fun.
wow.
I
Anyway,
will be honest
let's
with you guys. We don't remember half the shit we say, and it's just as
I mean,
entertaining
I-
to re-listen to old episodes. 'cause it's like,
Legitimately,
whoa.
I remember all of this shit.
Okay, I don't remember anything.
Yeah, like when
Let
David
me
mentioned the
rephrase that.
whirring from prison, I was like,
Yeah, I
That's a
know.
good point,
I
that's a good
heard
point,
that. I was
Mike.
Okay,
like,
well, no, like details like that. No, that
There's
that is
there's
not.
there's been many moments that when re-listening where like I know I was getting at something,
you
but
had a
but
plan.
but I've even tricked myself because then I'm like,
yeah.
what is that? Well, who is this? who am I hinting at right now?
Oh, that's amazing.
What was I thinking?
There's so many times like that. But anyway, we can talk about this. So I think part 2 is a great idea.
Yes.
Yep. Let's take a break.
Yes.
So
Bumbling
chat,
Rose.
if you yes, thank you for being very supportive, chat. Love that. I'm down to play some Jamathies after this if you guys want to, but also I understand you guys tired. So when we come back, chat, some of us might be here, some of us might not be. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out for part 1 of the first 30 episodes from Afar podcast.
Yeah.
And we'll have part 2 next week.
Hey, that's a pretty big chunk.
That's half of it.
Like,
that's half of it right there.
30, 40 hours.
Dude, I don't know how.
We have a lot
Somehow-
of content. I just calculated the amount of pages and notes I have. I have over 800 pages of notes for this. A lot of it is repeat. But
That's like a book, man.
yeah.
I have a novel. How many words?
Like at least 6.
That you gotta.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, but we're going to go to a break here real quick, chat. We'd love to have you stick around for the next part of this, which might be video games. It might be me just sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
Thanks,
Who
Sam.
knows?
All right. Well, I will be going to sleep. So this has been really nice because just going through these episodes have been really fun. So
yeah.
I will see y'all on the flip side. Bye-bye.
All right, chat. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Bye. And we're back, everyone. Are our videos frozen? I'm watching.
Yeah, it is.
They are frozen. How do I fix this?
I do not know.
Maybe I bump it over to two people streaming the game. I turn my camera off, and you. No, that wouldn't work.
No, you. How about you just don't have our cameras on there? Just have you on there, and we can just be the audio.
Yeah. Not sure.
I don't know if that'll work. But we'll find out. Let me.
I'm gonna turn my video off.
Ooh, we're about to get wild up in here. Oh wait, now it's moving. Hold on.
Oh.
Are we good?
Oh, it's working now, I think.
Oh.
Oh, now it's frozen again. If I'm tabbing over to something else, it works. And then as soon as I'm on Streamlabs, it doesn't work again.
Oh, interesting.
That's really strange. I think it's because I started this game like halfway through, or I started like halfway through the stream.
It's okay. Here, we can just do you with the video and then us with the talkie.
Yeah, well, it might take a second to reset that, but give us a second here, chat, and we'll be right back again.
Whee!
I'm going to that BRB screen. Hello. I don't know if you guys can hear me. So we're having some technical difficulties. So we are going to actually just end the stream here because yeah, we'll figure this out and get it ready for next time. But thank you for hanging out, everybody. You all are amazing. Thanks for bearing with the kind of rambling recap that we had of Down Memory Lane. It was very fun for all of us, and we're excited that you guys were here for that journey. So I want to try and do a raid. How do I do that?
Should be in the sorry, excuse me. You
That's
like
fine.
caught me with a mouthful. In the mod paneling, like
Mod paneling,
streamer
whoa.
panel or something like that. There should be like a bunch of buttons all around the screen for you.
Oh, on my chat bot?
Sorry. Ooh.
Oh, just type /raid and then the name of the channel. Okay, let's try that.
Or that too. Yeah, you can do that too, I guess.
/raid.
No.
We're gonna go over to my buddy Matt. He's doing speed runs of Mario 64 right now, and he just today broke 30 minutes. So let me just bounce over to that real quick. MATTRE. Yeah, so his name is Mattress Padley. He's an old friend of mine from college. Good guy. He looks just like me. Let's go show him a little bit of love as he speed runs Mario. Also, Matt, I'm sorry if you're not ready for this. Bye. I think we're going. I think we're doing it.
There should be like a little countdown, maybe.
3, 2, 1. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Bye. And we're rating him.